Hi, welcome to Trebons, and we are 6 weeks of age, just over. All was at show yesterday, today's Sunday, so just over a couple of days. And this is the black girl up on the table, being groomed. And I thought what might be a good idea is we can actually have a look at the physique, the anatomy of the dog while it's on the table, quick look. And while we're brushing the dog, etc, etc, because this is something you're going to need to do a bit of grooming occasionally. And for us, when we're selecting our dogs and when we're doing our breeding, anatomy is very, very important. But as a pedigree breeder, you've got to sort of understand your breed, and in doing so, you've got a standard. Now, you're not obliged to, and no breeder is obliged to follow the standard. In fact,
brown male.
We've got the brown male. He's is actually obliged to follow a standard, but we do, and we try and meet that standard. And that standard is judged at show, and we're reasonably successful there. But how do you work to a standard? Well, first of all, you've got to understand your breed. Now, our breed is in group 1, which is sheepdogs. But then you've got to determine what type of sheepdog it is. Is it a protection dog, protecting the sheep, or is it actually movement, herding the sheep? And you have to look at the anatomy of the dog. You also have to look at the standard, the temperament that's required for it. And it's quite obvious that our dogs, that the BERGER BLANC Swiss is a herding dog. This is, sorry?
Green male? The
green male. Yeah. Is a herding dog, and we're looking at the dog here. We can see the shape of the dog, and we can see it's built for movement. It's not built for fighting for protection as such. It's built for movement. We can see that, and we're looking at the legs there. We've got the shoulders there, and that's what we're looking at when we're doing our selecting. Do they match? Will they be harmonious together? Because at the end of the day, a herding dog needs movement. And it's about recognising that movement. There's not, and it's a bit difficult to start with to recognise what is herding movement.
Grey girl.
And this is the grey girl now, and we can see we've got all our puppies are very, very uniform in shape and in anatomy, and they should be. We don't have huge differences between the puppies, male or female, when it comes to that anatomy that enables it to move fluidly. And a herding movement is an economical movement. It's about covering ground economically without spending an awful amount of energy to cover that ground.
Light blue boy. Light
blue boy. And as I say, this is good exercise, the grooming, getting them on the table, etc. But that's what the standard is. So, and we recognise that movement, and that's primarily, I would say yes. I mean, that's what the standard is about. The standard is built in many, many different areas. We've got the head shape, etc, etc. But it doesn't matter about the head shape if you haven't got the movement. And we don't specialise in anything. All we do is recognise that movement and try and recreate that movement all the time. And as well, it was at show yesterday, and there's a very, very good example of 2 young dogs, and I think they're about 14, 15 months now. And we'll put a link to those videos where you can see that movement, the movement that we're trying to create all the time. The herding movement, the economy of motion is what it's about, ground covering. And that really is what it's about. And we're pretty good at that, actually. So we've got some good results, and we're just trying to find another one. Here we go. This is dark blue male now.
Dark blue female.
Dark blue female. That's a medium blue, darling. It's a dark blue male, medium female, light male.
Medium female. Very happy on the table.
Very happy on the table. So as you can see, and the uniformity of all the puppies is good. There's an expression, a pick of a litter. I mean, you should actually have a litter to pick from. Not one puppy, but it doesn't matter which puppy you choose here. They're all going to be competitive. There's going to be slight differences in them, just as there's going to be slight differences in temperament. Some are going to be a little bit easier to gear up than others, but if we're doing our job properly, we have produced a litter that is very competitive all over, not just one puppy, but all of them are going to be competitive. And then it's just about putting in the work, the training, etc., etc. The maintenance, which includes grooming, that includes training, that includes the proper food, etc., etc. The right handling. And that's what I'm saying, is you've got to determine what type of sheepdog it is. Is it a guardian, or is it a mover, moving the herd? This is a dog that is moving a herd. So the temperament has to match that. And whilst you can train a different temperament, it's not actually the ideal thing to do. Otherwise you just go and get a dog that is... This is which male? Dark blue male. Yep. And you see, there's very, very little difference in the anatomy between the dogs, eh? And that's the way it should be. We're looking at the angulation. At the moment we can't really see. I've seen glimpses of the movement. I know the movement's correct, and I know this is a very, very competitive litter, as most of our litters are, or all of them are actually, because we're focusing on what is needed to be focused on, which is movement, primarily movement. You get your movement right, the rest follows. It's very, very basic.
And confidence on table.
And pretty competent on the table. We're doing very, very well. Any minute I'm going to bring in, we're going to do the Nova litter on the table as well, and we'll see the difference in coat length as well, because that's another thing. These are all basically medium coat, and the Novas are definitely slightly longer. You can see that now when I bring them in. And that is part and parcel of the standard. And we have breeders that specialise in short coat, etc., etc. It's got to such a stage now that breeders are actually DNA testing coat length because they can't tell the coat length, which is totally crazy. I mean, they've been specialising for so long, they're trying to convince everybody that a short coat is a medium coat. These are medium coat.
The light blue male.
No, I don't think so. And this is the light blue male, and again we're looking at that anatomy. And again, it's very difficult to tell the puppies apart, eh? And that's the way it should be. We're at a good level, a high quality level in this litter again, and they're going to be competitive. There's no doubt about that. We're going to, and really don't think it matters which one you choose or what I choose. I can make it into a champion because I know the movement's going to be correct on it. You can see that and feel it. Feel that anatomy. It's just good. So, and that really is what the breeding's about. So anyway, that's our video for the honey litter, and then we're going to put a couple of the Nova litter up on the table, and I think I've got one here. I've got the oh yes, I've got the green male here. He's chewing my leg. The green male. No, that's a green female. This is one without collie. It's probably came up. Yeah. So it does look like it's been done. So, and again, look at this. Yeah, that's a lovely fellow there, isn't it? Look at the body. Look at those front feet there. Those legs, the back legs. You just know it's going to be competitive. And hopefully, with the weather, if it gets better, we'll be able to get out there and start seeing that movement. I've seen glimpses of it. I had them out yesterday briefly before the rain started. Yeah. So this is Honey's litter at 6 weeks.